Good evening, everyone. And to all of those who have served our country in the U.S. Armed Forces, happy Veterans Day, and thank you for your service. I'm here in our production studio and safely distanced from my colleagues to join you in a virtual celebration of all that makes the Belisario College great, even in tough times. And we've all had our challenges in recent months. Our students have had to deal with the disappointment of lost opportunities, whether that was a job or internship that didn't materialize, a canceled study abroad or semester away experience, or for our seniors, a commencement that involved sitting in front of a screen at home instead of in the Bryce Jordan Center with hundreds of their classmates. In the absence of life as we know it on campus, many of our students have struggled with things we might take for granted. For some, it's been finding that quiet place to concentrate on online coursework for hours. For others, it's been something as basic as having a computer on which to do that coursework. And that's on top of the usual challenges many students face, juggling a job to pay the bills with the classes and experience they need for the career of their dreams. In the Belisario College, though, we've doubled down to help our students face these challenges. I'm proud of our faculty who've motivated and inspired in the socially distanced classroom and in the virtual classroom. I'm also proud of our staff who've advised our students in navigating steadily toward graduation and who've worked with many of you, our alumni, in connecting our students to mentoring, to internships, and to jobs. As you'll see, our community has pressed forward, whether it's through the magic our faculty create in the classroom, or the creative joy our students bring to their work, or the ways we partner together to help every member of our community succeed. I know you feel the same sense of pride I do in the resilient power of We Are. Join me over the next 30 minutes or so in celebrating our accomplishments and your support. We'll start with a look at a day in the life of a Belisario student this semester. Then we'll learn what it means to be in class with Tara Wyckoff, who won the Alumni Society Board's Excellence in Teaching Award in 2018. Tara's approach, driven by her sense of commitment, is emblematic of faculty across the college. When we challenge our students, bringing our expertise and a big dose of empathy, great things happen. You'll also learn about the ways we work behind the scenes to support our students when they need it most. Many of our students are from traditionally underserved communities, and it's our moral and ethical obligation to give them a hand up as they strive to grow. You'll meet Gary Abdullah, our Assistant Dean for Diversity and Inclusion. Gary's days are spent working side by side with our students to meet a variety of challenges. Gary is truly a connector and a difference maker. And finally, you're going to hear from Grant Donghai, a senior with big aspirations and the drive to meet them. I've gotten to know Grant as he's mentored some of our first-year students this semester. We asked Grant to tell us about his journey to Penn State and about what motivates him. You'll see what he wanted you to know about his life as a student here. Among these stories, you'll also get to eavesdrop on some of the conversations between our students and the benefactors who are helping them succeed at Penn State. To all of our benefactors, The students you support today will remember you, not only for what you've done for them, but for the example you've set. You've opened their eyes to what it really means to pay it forward as a Penn Stater. Thank you. Now, on with the show, and we'll talk again soon.
Hi everyone, I'm Junyi Chen. I'm a senior here at Penn State and major in public relations and minor in music technology. And here's my first day of this semester. It's a unique semester like we have never been through. And I need to go on campus today, so I'm really excited about it because I have stayed at home for 4 months. So let's go and check it. Actually, my first class is a Zoom class, so I went out in the afternoon. And here's what I wear. I wear a mask, of course, glasses and gloves. I need them to protect my eyes and hands. And here the bus comes. I'm really excited about going on the campus because I haven't been there for like 5 months since the spring break, and I'm really looking forward to what it will look like. Here we arrive on the campus. As you can see, there is not much people on the bus and not much people at the station. Usually, the first day of each semester has the most students here on campus, but there are not much people here. Everyone is wearing a mask and keeping the social distance. I think Penn State did a really good job at protecting us from the COVID-19 because the sign of keeping social distance is everywhere and also the sanitizer is everywhere. My last stop is going to Paty Library and return my textbook. I think it's a really tough time for everyone here this semester, but we can get through this because we are Penn State.
Tara Wyckoff, Assistant Teaching Professor of Advertising and Public Relations. I tell my students my career path often, and I started off thinking I wanted to be in business and then switched career paths and thought I wanted to be a high school teacher, and then switched career paths again and found myself back in business and decided to go back to graduate school. And during graduate school is when I realized that I in fact wanted to teach, but that I wanted to teach marketing, communications, public relations. And so it was a little bit later in my career, after I had worked for about 10 years, that I had made the switch into the classroom.
Tara being as though like the position that she is in today, she doesn't speak to you like a professor. She speaks to you like an industry professional, and I think I can really appreciate that, and I'm sure other students of hers can really appreciate that as well. One, because she's passionate. She doesn't really put too much emphasis on grading. Like, she wants you to take the most value that you can out of her courses, and she wants you to take that with you into the industry. And that's something that I did when I took her social PR class for the minor.
I feel an obligation to them to help prepare them. I start off every semester saying the same thing. My goal is to help them become the type of young professional whom I would hire. And so I take that obligation seriously.
Tara has shown a lot of resiliency this semester. I think one of the ways I've really seen it is the way that she is still constantly checking in with us, first as people and then as students. She always gives us the chance to let her know how we're doing, both academically, but just on a personal level. This semester is a really interesting one. So she always gives us that time to speak about whatever it is that we want to, which I really appreciate. And I know that kind of takes away a little bit of time from her curriculum, but we never miss a beat because of it. She does a really great job of making sure that we have time to talk about ourselves, but then also focus on the content. And I think that by the time we get there, we're all a lot more engaged because we know that we have a professor that supports us.
I did spend a lot of the summer reworking my curriculum so that I could easily, at a moment's notice, go full remote and think through how that would impact things like discussion groups and group projects and things of that nature. So I did a little bit of contingency planning. And then when class started, I think the students showed me great grace and patience as I was navigating this new, unique situation of having some students in person, but some on Zoom. And so just that management the first week or two, I was a little anxious about, and they showed me great grace and patience. And I think in return, what I tried to share them was some normalcy, and that's what they were craving. And so we went about business. I mean, I assigned homework right out of the gate, like I usually do. We came out swinging. But I think that helped. It felt normal. That's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to work hard and study hard and start your semester off. And so we did.
I think that it's been actually working really well, the mix of in-person and virtual. Tara does a great job of making sure that everyone's engaged. So her class is one of the only ones that I'll go to online that everyone's cameras are turned on, everyone's participating, and that's really helpful to make it feel more like a normal classroom. And then when we're in person, again, she's awesome about engaging students in the conversation, making sure that we all have something to contribute. So I'm always excited to go to her class, one, because I get to physically go if it's in person, but also because I know there's always a lot to learn from her.
Yeah, she's been like a true role model to me, if you will. She saw like the strength in me, like she saw what I wanted to do when no one else would give me a chance in terms of giving me an industry experience because I didn't already have baseline experience in it. Tara saw that. She knew that I had the drive and grit and that, I was ready to go out in the industry and, learn from professionals and take that with me and take that as value into more higher roles in the future.
I do think that that's part of the really neat part about working with students is they come to you with hope, right? For the most part, they come to you with hope. And I'm a hopeful person, so that's a good combination, right? We approach the class somewhat similarly, and I think that that's what has helped us as we've gone remote in the spring, and now that we're forging this hybrid model. I think that they come with the hopeful expectation of learning and growing, and I'm hopeful that they'll be able to do that, and I'll be able to deliver that, and so that's a nice combination.
And I was literally in the process, like I was almost done taking a loan out. And I had saw that my award summary was updated and I checked it and it was like I had gotten a scholarship for like more than what the loan I was taking out for. And I was just like taking it back so much because I was like, this covered my whole summer. Like I didn't have to like put anything down. And I was like more than beyond grateful for that.
Hear that? It's so gratifying to see that in some small way, we've been able to help out. I've been lucky in my career, but, I didn't do it all myself. I mean, nobody accomplishes anything, without a lot of people helping you along the way. And, this is really, for me, it's just paying it forward. Somebody helped me and it makes all the sense in the world for me to be able to reach out and help if I can. So the donor dinner was great, as Jose had said at the open, to be able to put a face to a name and to see that interaction. It's really powerful. And I'm just glad that we were able to do this.
I know a lot of students know who you are, but many of our alumni don't. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your Penn State story?
I'll be glad to. Many years ago, I was born in the shadows of Beaver Stadium. My parents came up here from Philadelphia in the 70s. They went to school here, they graduated, they married, and they never left. And so I'm a townie, as you would call it. I am also a two-time graduate of Penn State University. I am blue and white through and through. I have been working for the institution now 13 plus years, starting off in the admissions office, then actually becoming an academic advisor in the College of Communications, going away for a little bit, and then coming back into this role a little over 3 years ago. So love Penn State, love the College of Communications, and I love what we're doing here in the Belisario College.
Well, we are so lucky to have you leading this effort and working with all of us. Let's start big picture and tell us how you define diversity and explain what some of the challenges are that are faced by that segment of students.
Diversity is defined along a wide swath of things. we are looking at everything from racial, ethnic diversity, nationality, gender identity, sexual identity, ability level. There's a wide variety of different things that our office are taking the time to make sure that we are putting our arms around. Really, the main goal of our office is to make sure that every person that steps inside the Belisario College of Communications or any of our facilities feels as if they are part of the Belisario family. Now, for some of the students that I work with, they are facing a wide variety of tasks and options. Obviously, we all know that college can be a transformative time in your life. It can also be a difficult time in your life. And so I am working with students who are facing financial resource issues, who are facing issues regarding the actual things that they need, such as, do I have books? Is my computer up to par? I help students with issues of mental health. We refer them to appropriate resources. We work with students sometimes who may have real life tragedies happening outside of the university and helping them walk through that, because as we all know, life doesn't just stop while you're here in Happy Valley. And then I'm just dealing with, at times, just basic transitional issues. How am I transitioning to Penn State University, to Happy Valley? And so really just helping students walk through everyday life. If we really think about it, we have a wonderful academic advising office. They do a great job guiding our students academically. We have a wonderful career and internship office. They do a great job of preparing our students to go be excellent professionals. There's a wide gap in between of while you're here. My job is to help fill in that gap and help guide our students in that way.
That's great, Gary. So there are obviously a wide and complex range of issues. Can you give me some examples of the things that you are specifically doing to address these issues?
As I said, we are looking for ways to make sure that everyone is feeling included. So we will work with partnering with other academic colleges, other units to have programming, to put on programming, bring up speakers and guests. If there are different things happening around the university, I actually have a listserv set up to send information out to our students to make sure that they are aware of different resources or opportunities that are available to them that may be helpful. We actually now this year, one of our priorities for our office is setting up different affinity groups. So there are some professional organizations that allow student chapters that we're working on. We're working to develop or to recultivate NABJ, NAHJ, the AAJA. Those are just some of the organizations that we're working on. And then also the National Association of LGBTQ Journalists Association as well. And so we are bringing in a wide variety of organizations. I almost forgot to mention NAMIC as well. We're trying to do a lot of things to make sure that our students are feeling they're going to be prepared academically. We want them to feel secured in some of how they identify as individuals, but also give them that professional preparedness while doing it. That's what success is. Success is getting students across the stage in graduation, but making sure that there's a larger developmental process other than just putting a diploma in your hand, but seeing you mature as an individual.
That's great, Gary. I was going to ask you about how you define success, but I think you did. And I'm reminded of something that Dean Hardin says all the time, that any student who has put in the work to get here should be able to come regardless of their ability to pay. Once they're here, they should have all the tools necessary to succeed and really maximize on the Penn State experience. We should get them across the finish line to graduation and into a job that's going to set up for future success. So thanks for sharing that story. My last question is, as you know, we've got hundreds of alumni, donors, stakeholders, volunteers, and people who are really connected to the college tune in. Mm-hmm. What would you say to them? Because I know they're thinking, well, how can I help?
First of all, thank you for the help that you have already provided. We appreciate that. Secondly, there's still work yet to be done. there is help that can be provided on a myriad of levels. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the mentorship, taking the time out of your schedules and out of your lives to be able to feed into the student population. It's a crucial thing. It's an important thing. And so that is greatly appreciated. In addition to that, I understand not everybody has the time to be able to do that. The resources that you can give of yourself to the university, specifically to the Belisario College of Communications, is greatly appreciated. We've been able to impact student lives from offering scholarships that will allow a senior who may not have been able to complete that last semester to be able to complete that last semester. Being able to offer scholarships to that rising junior who has excellent internship opportunity, but they do not have the finances to be able to take advantage of it. Well, people giving of their resources, you all giving of your resources to create scholarship opportunities to go towards an internship are key. We have situations in which students needing upgrades in their technology, what may have once worked no longer operates at the level we need it to. People who are willing to feed in to maybe provide the resources that are going to help purchase a new computer or a camera or a drive of some sort. All those things, each one of those are so critical to our students and to our student success. And so I say thank you for what has been done, and I encourage you to continue to give of yourself as we move forward, because the work is not done. The work is ongoing as we continue to create the new generation of Nittany Lions and the new generation of Belisario storytellers.
Thanks so much, Gary. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate all the work that you do. And this is personal to me because not only do I raise money for these issues, but I was one of those students when I was here in the late 90s. So again, thank you, and to all those who support. If you haven't already and would like to sign up for our alumni mentoring and networking program, I hope you'll consider doing so. If you have ever considered making or increasing your financial support, now is definitely the time. The need has perhaps never been greater. And I just want to remind you that the stories of success and resilience that you've heard tonight are made possible in large part because of your philanthropy. In addition to giving time, I encourage you to set up a scholarship or add to an existing one, make a gift to support a program like the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, or simply make provisions for Penn State in your estate plans. There are many, many ways you can enhance your legacy and impact students for generations to come. Please email me at jose@psu.edu. Let's talk about it. Until then, have a great evening.
I was always taught to give back. And, once you achieve something, don't just keep going about your way. Try to turn around and help somebody else. But when it came down to who I wanted to give my money to, who I thought would make the best choices in selecting scholarship recipients for me, I wanted to do it myself, but you're not allowed to. So I knew that Penn State would. I knew that they would care to follow my wishes and to make it need-based and to make it such that it would diversify the campus. And so, I just thought it would be a good way to give back and to help people who might just need a little bit of help. What I do isn't special. Like, you can do it. Other people can do it. You just need a chance. Just need to be taught how to do it, and you need a chance to do it. So that's why I started the scholarship.
Just being able to receive a scholarship, period, and then a scholarship from you and who you are, somebody who's already in the field doing this work and really just putting on and exhibiting great determination and great content just means a lot to me, and just able to really show me that, hey, you're not alone somebody's out here that's been through where you are, or at least a version or a parallel where you are. And, you know, you have to keep going because there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Hi, my name is Grant Don Guy. I am a senior in the Donald P. Belisario College of Comm in the film video major, and I am born and raised in State College, Pennsylvania. I got into film at a very, very young age. I remember running around in second grade with my friends making home movies on iMovie. But obviously anybody coming up with any kind of passion in high school was hard, especially growing up in State College. But luckily I come from a background where my father was very, very supportive of me going into an arts field and really helped me build a foundation by giving me the financial support and the emotional support to pursue that in a college setting. Breaking away from people that kind of doubt you is something that like I still experience today, and just kind of building myself up and like basically surrounding myself with really good people. It really comes into play with like the people that support me. You know, there are so many people that I've worked with on film sets. There are so many faculty members, Rod Bingaman, Marche, Katie Grant. Those are people that support me in everything that I do and open doors to me that I never thought I would have open. You know, you learn something from every single person that you work from on set. That's not something that I can say I would have gotten at any other school. And that's why I truly love Penn State with all my heart, is because I've learned so much from every single one of these individuals that I've had the blessing of working with, that just becomes unmatched. So I would just try to get involved as much as possible. I joined the student film organization and got to go to Sundance as a freshman. I got to get 2 internships in New York City to start off my career after my freshman year. So I think having that be the foundation of what Grant Doggett was doing in film as a freshman really set me up for success moving forward, even given the constraints of coming from my background, because I think I do sometimes need to like recognize that I do come from a single parent background, and you know, my mom passed in 2011. That obviously financially and emotionally is a huge void, and that is something that only a few select people have to overcome when they're heading into a school setting. So sophomore year, I spent all that time making my debut feature film, The Fallen, which premiered at the State Theater in December 2019, which is probably my biggest accomplishment while I've been here at Penn State, just solely because it's an hour-and-a-half long film, and it was made entirely by Penn State students. And something that I pride myself on, especially coming from like the LGBT community, is I wanted 50% of my cast and crew to be women, people of color, and members of the LGBT community, because I feel like those are some voices that aren't shown in Hollywood. I really wanted to like push them forward in like a spotlight kind of setting, and I was like, oh, what better way to do that than give all these people an opportunity to watch all their hard work at the State Theater. And it was amazing to see all these people down the block just there to see like what we had done. And it's bigger than me, and it's bigger than our project. It was just amazing to see, like, I want that to be like, that's what Penn State film can do, and that's the bar that it should be at, because the level of passion that every single one of those actors, every single one of those crew members had, I was blown away.
Because anyone that comes to me, like, asks me for advice, asks me for questions, like, even though I might not know as much as everyone else, like, I still think I can provide people with whatever they need as best as I can. And that's something that I really want to do. And I want to be a professional in the industry and come back and be able to help other Penn Staters do that same thing.
Seeing, you know, just the kind of community that was fostered within this film class, it really made me felt welcomed in a place I wanted to stay, and I haven't left since.
I think Penn State gives us this huge, amazing program that no matter what background you come from and no matter what hardships that you're coming from, you're gonna have a family here afterwards. And not a lot of programs can say that. I think it's something really, really special in that. And that's something that I was super joyed to like find at Penn State. We're going to follow all the guidelines to keep my crew and my cast safe, but we're gonna make this movie. And I think that energy coupled with my crew's energy, everyone was like, let's do this. You know, obviously filming something in the middle of a global pandemic is not something I ever planned on myself doing, but I think that we've rolled with the punches enough to where like we're creating something that's like really, really special. But I think the resilient energy that my crew has shown in this very, very hard time is what's going to set our project apart and make it special. And I think that if I was talking to my young self jumping into college, it's just be confident in the stories you're telling. They might not be good, they might not be bad, but just tell them. Because storytelling takes practice, and storytelling is something that it shows in this COVID day and age is the most important thing that we have. because it keeps people wanting something. It keeps people enjoying their lives and excited to see something. And if that content's not being made, what's the point?
It made me feel like that the hard work that I was putting in was recognized, and it made me motivated to even try harder this year and to keep my goals focused and to keep them centered and just keep my eyes on the prize of what I want to do and accomplish those goals. And so it was just really like reaffirming and just thank you so much. I remember when I told my parents, I saw on the little notification and Line Path and the email that I got the scholarship, and they were so proud of me, and it just made it seem like everything has been worth it so far.
Well, that touches my heart. It touches my heart to hear that, and I'm very, very pleased. And I like what you said about focus and your goals. About 50 years ago, Joe Paterno wrote me a letter, hand wrote, when I made law review at the University of Miami Law School. And he said, congratulations and keep your goals set high. So I will say to you, congratulations and keep your goals set high. Jose, I just wanted to do something. I understand completely what it's like. Penn State, one of the most expensive state universities in the country. Any little bit that I can do and larger bits that other people can do to help students who are putting in the hard work, my pleasure to do it.
Hi again, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the positive, powerful stories that show what this college is really all about. They remind us that we are resilient, caring, and always forward-looking. And we are a community that stands together on a great foundation, always building a better tomorrow. Thank you that even during these challenging times, you're joining with us to invest in that tomorrow. Since the start of our fiscal year in July, 2 alumni have made major gifts to our Hollywood program. A longtime volunteer and current trustee, along with his wife, both Belisario College alumni, endowed a scholarship to support educational equity in the college. Parents of a current student helped us leverage a matching gift to grow our comm agency. And most recently, a 1947 alumnus has committed $500,000 for a newsroom fund to enhance our leadership in responsible, ethical, and professional news gathering to serve the Commonwealth. I look forward to the day when you can all see that newsroom at work inside our new media center after its doors open this spring. We will say goodbye to this production studio, but we'll always have the memories of the great work we accomplished here. On behalf of our students and everyone here in Happy Valley, thank you for your interest, for your time, and for your support. Now, please join me in a final and traditional unifying moment for all of us, and have a good evening.
For the glory of Old State, for her founder strong and great, for the future that we wait, raise the song, raise the song. Sing our love and loyalty, sing our hopes that bright and free. Rest, O Mother dear, with thee, all with thee, all with thee. When we stood at childhood's gate, shapeless in the hands of fate, proudest mold us, dear old state, dear old state, dear old state. May no act of ours bring shame to one heart that loves thy name. May our lives swell thy fame, dear old state, dear old state.